Ooh, doggies.
Wow, everybody, check it out. It's coming down. We finally got our freaking snow. That is freaking awesome. A helicopter landed right over there behind those trees. Couldn't fly through this stuff. Apparently, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm hoping I can catch its takeoff.
We connect you through the latest as the novel coronavirus spreads to nearly a quarter of the world. The number of new cases reported outside of mainland China is now greater than inside. The World Health Organization today warning this virus still has the potential to erupt into a global pandemic. Have a listen.
What's happening in the rest of the world, that's now our greatest concern. We're at a decisive point.
Well, let's get you the latest numbers. More than 82,000 cases and 2,800 deaths. Some of the most troubling news today coming from South Korea. More than 500 new cases there reported over the past day. And there is growing concern about two other major hotspots for this virus, Iran and Italy.
The virus now reaching every corner of the world. Countries are putting in place increasingly aggressive countermeasures. Saudi Arabia has taken the unprecedented step of banning foreign pilgrims from visiting Islam's holiest shrines. Border controls have been tightened in Greece, and the death toll in Italy has continued to climb. While South Korea has warned anyone breaching laws of self-isolation will face an even heavier fine, and possibly a year in jail. Here's our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Jonathan Rugman.
In this Chinese documentary, the city of Wuhan seems almost deserted. The coronavirus outbreak, which began here, has killed over 2,700 people across China in the last couple of months. The health authorities say some discharged patients have been readmitted to hospital after testing positive again. In Beijing, a taxi firm is installing plastic sheeting to separate drivers from passengers, though the virus may be doubling back on itself, with infected carriers returning to China from other countries, including Iran.
Hey you, out there in the cold, getting lonely, getting old, can you feel me? Hey you, standing in the aisles with itchy feet and fading smiles, can you feel me?
BackYardSKY's gonna save you. BackYardSKY is gonna be your hero.
Don't help them to bury
BackYardSKY.
Don't give in without a fight. Hey you, out there on your own, sitting naked by the phone, would you touch me? Hey you, with your ear against the wall, waiting for someone to call out, would you touch me? Hey you, would you help me to carry the stone? Open your heart, I'm coming home.
But it was only fantasy. The wall was too high, as you can see. No matter how he tried, he could not break free. And the worms ate into his brain.
ZT is a 61-year-old man presenting to the emergency room with fever, cough, and weakness on December 20th, 2019. Several years ago, he was diagnosed with liver disease. Over the next 7 days, ZT was monitored in the respiratory unit at the Wuhan hospital, and he started to develop trouble breathing. A throat swab tested positive for the coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 infection, meaning that he has COVID-19, the disease that's caused by the virus. SARS-CoV-2 is the virus. COVID-19 is the disease that comes from the virus. A CT scan of his chest confirmed viral pneumonia. On the 8th day of hospitalization, December 28th, 2019, ZT was transferred into the intensive care unit. A tube was placed down his throat so that a machine could help him breathe. 3 days later, on New Year's Eve, ZT was transferred into the infectious disease hospital in Wuhan City so he could be more closely monitored. On New Year's Day, ZT fell unconscious. His blood pressure started to drop. The next day, he entered respiratory failure. He was hooked up to life support. A second infection was found in ZT, this time bacteria. Other germs were starting to grow inside of him. Acids were found in his blood as his organs started shutting down. At 8:47 p.m. on January 9th, 2020, 8 days after he was moved to the infectious disease hospital, ZT's heart suddenly stopped beating. A code was announced in the hospital, and doctors rushed to resuscitate him. But at 11:13 p.m., 2.5 hours later, the code was called. ZT could not be resuscitated. Pneumonia, fever, life support, acids in blood, these are all dealt with in hospitals every day. Nothing new here. Problems with the lungs can cause critical illness quickly, but can be even quicker when the heart gets involved.
Your mom, your dad. Hello, welcome to the program. I'm Adrian Finnegan. From a wildlife market in China's Wuhan city, where the coronavirus is believed to have emerged, to the city of Qom in Iran. The disease is sweeping around the globe, and health experts are warning that we could be on the brink of a pandemic. More than 80,000 people in over 40 countries have been infected. The number of new cases inside the country at the center of the epidemic, China, has been overtaken for the first time by new infections outside. Now the focus of the outbreak is shifting to Europe in particular and the Middle East. In that region, Iran appears to be the center of the spread of the disease. Cases in Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Lebanon and Oman have been linked to patients who traveled to Iran recently. At least 139 people have been infected there, and the Iranian government is struggling to contain the outbreak. On Wednesday, the country reported the largest death toll from the virus outside China, with 19 people dead. Governments in neighboring countries are taking stricter measures to try to stop the coronavirus spreading. Saudi Arabia has announced that it's temporarily halting visas for the Umrah pilgrimage and for people entering from affected countries. Iraq has closed schools, universities, and banned public gatherings, as well as flights from several nations. Qatar has ordered the evacuation of its citizens and Kuwaitis from Iran, Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE, where cases have been reported, and they've also imposed strict travel measures. Well, Italy has so far been the worst affected country in Europe. The number of coronavirus cases there has jumped to 400, and the death toll as of Thursday morning was 12. That's despite measures to contain it. Cases in other European countries have been traced to Italy, and a 61-year-old man who returned from there to Brazil has become Latin America's first case.
In my head, oh, I'm sorry, I'm alive. I've been wishing I was dead from a very young age. So tell me how you feel, well I'm feeling just fine. That's a lie that I've been telling my entire fucking life. I feel sluggish, I feel tired, I feel worthless, unsatisfied. Every time I wake up in the morning, I just wanna fall asleep again. Every time I wake up in the morning, I just wanna fall asleep again. Fall asleep again, yeah, fall asleep again. Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside. Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside. Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside. So hey, so hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside.
The Pope's general audience was held outside in St. Peter's Square. The Pope's ride around the square in the Pope-mobile was faster than usual. However, that didn't stop this group of pilgrims from Mexico from giving Pope Francis an enthusiastic message. Although the Pope-mobile didn't make any stops, before beginning his catechesis, Pope Francis greeted this little girl.
The Pope is not feeling so so hot, and it's sparking worldwide concern today. He was seen coughing and blowing his nose during Ash Wednesday Mass and spoke in a hoarse voice. His illness hit as Italy becomes the epicenter in Europe of the coronavirus outbreak. Before exhibiting symptoms, the Pope sought to show his compassion, greeting the faithful, kissing children, and touching all these hands. Today, the Vatican said the Pope is resting and suffering only a slight indisposition. Coronavirus panic continues to grip the globe.
Japan said it will close all of its schools for a month.
U.S. airlines are now suspending flights and offering travel waivers for flights to Italy and South Korea.
Stock markets are in free fall.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average over the past 6 days could be on pace for its worst week since the great financial crisis back in 2000.
Backyard.
Drowning deep in my sea of loathing, broken your servant I nailed. Will you give in to me? It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing in me. Oh, come on, get down.